Welcome to Advocate Today. I'm Aaron Dean. We begin with a shocking story out of California. A 66-year-old woman shot and killed over a pride flag displayed outside of her store. Police say a 27-year-old man yelled homophobic slurs at the owner of the Magpie shop in Cedar, Glen, before he opened fire, killing her. The owner, Laura Ann Carleton, did not identify as LGBTQ+, but she was an ally. Police say the gunman took off from the store on foot. Witnesses helped police track him down about a mile later, where he was killed in an exchange of gunfire. Investigators say that he frequently posted hate-filled content on social media. Carleton's daughter says that her mother was always fearless in the fight of hate.
She was so fearless, and any negative reaction, she just powered through. The flags had been torn down before by different individuals, and she always went and ordered an even larger flag in response and put it up. So, I admire her, and I'm so proud of her, and I know that she passed standing up for something that she believed in. I want to make sure that no matter what the circumstances were surrounding her death, that we just focus on who she was as a person, just beautiful inside and out, and that we all move forward by preaching love and acceptance and equality in her honor. I know I sure will.
Carleton leaves behind a husband of 28 years and a blended family of 9 children. Switching gears, there's a new leader in beer sales in America. Modelo Especial beat Bud Light in year-to-date sales for the first time ever. Bud Light has been America's top beer seller for 2 decades, but it's a tight race. Modelo owning 8.34% dollars spent on beer through August 12th. Bud Light taking in 8.28%. Bud Light began to see sales slide back in May, June, and July after sending a can of Bud Light to trans influencer and activist Dylan Mulvaney. Then the company's response to the backlash angered members of the LGBTQ community. But there are signs of recovery for Bud Light, with their volumes increasing by 5% since the spring. There's a new conference coming to Texas this fall that is creating a space for brands, entertainers, and LGBTQ+ professionals to connect. Unleashed LGBTQ+ is a 3-day event where you can learn about the latest products and services, network with professionals, and see performances from the biggest names in LGBTQ+ culture, including film, television, music, and business. It's happening in Dallas on September 22nd through the 24th. Unleashed LGBTQ+ founder Wesley Smoot says in September, all queer eyes will be on Dallas, Texas. Hi, Wesley. How are you today?
Doing very good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm so excited to, get to learn a little bit more about Unleashed LGBTQ+. So let's jump into it. You ready?
Ready.
All right. So tell us a little bit about your background and how this all came to be.
I have a background in marketing, events, sponsorships. So it was really cool to, use all of those skills in my wheelhouse to kind of put this together. And I was sort of seeing that there are a ton of different LGBTQ performers and celebrities, also people who write books and play music and, are just involved in so many different things, all these different thought leaders and industry experts, and, what it would mean to make a well-rounded program of different events, where people can come and learn from some of these, very thought-provoking people. And that was, Unleashed. We got a lot of inspiration from South by Southwest, which I'm from Austin, where I would attend regularly. I still do to this day. And, it was neat to see, what we can make that, gives a similar impact that, South by does.
There's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot of different, professionals, there's artists, there's brands, there's celebrities. Kind of give us a little bit of a taste of what people can look forward to. Kind of, give us the tea a little bit.
Sure. Well, we love that we have a lot of our celebrity talent. We got India Moore from Pose, and as well as Dylan Burnside, and both of those actors are doing huge things. I think India Moore is going to be in the next Aquaman. She's the face of Yves Saint Laurent Cosmetics. It's great to see this kind of celebrity talent, but having them interviewed on stage, it's so much more in depth it's so much more than just, this sort of celebrity. It's someone who is a transgender color person, non-binary, navigating your way in Hollywood, making it big. That's something. There's a story there, and we want to provide a platform for them to tell it. But same thing with great people like Billy Eichner and Anthony Porowski and quite a few other people. But we have programming that includes, speakers who are going to discuss everything from DEI and marketing, advertising, artificial intelligence, nonprofit world. Like it's a really well-rounded program of events that we're really excited to share with everybody.
You are a huge part of this event. You're knee deep in planning for it. There has to be something that you personally are looking forward to the most. What is that?
I am really excited about meeting a few of these people. We have Zach Herron, who's a gay NASCAR driver. He's going to come and talk about his experience being an athlete in a sport that's inherently conservative, and just I think overall seeing people's reaction, what they get out of it. We think there's a lot to learn from so many of these different thought leaders, and that's sort of a really exciting thing. We're really just looking forward to a lot of the people's feedback. But Billy Eichner, I absolutely loved Bros. And Billy on the Street, he's such a funny / obnoxious, neurotic, crazy person that I just can't wait to meet personally. But yeah, I think that we're just really looking forward to seeing how the audience and the market responds to an event like this that has never been done before.
How important are networking and professional events like this for the queer community? What can it do for this community?
I think it's important for us to network in safe environments, but also kind of different environments. I think we're always, as LGBTQ community, have to kind of have our guard up. We're always under attack. And I really want to create a platform where we can celebrate a lot of our latest things. So many of the people who are coming to our events get the opportunity to promote their latest movie or series or book or album, or, talk about what's the next thing in artificial intelligence or effective digital marketing and stuff like that. And I think it's really important for us to have that. And, like I said, create that safe space and, really celebrate, how far we've come. We have our pride festivals, we have our, parades, all sorts of different things. But I think something like this for LGBTQ professionals is really important.
In a times that we're in where there are just anti-LGBTQ laws just circulating the country everywhere, why was it important to make sure that this event was still in Texas? Of course, a state that we know is very conservative, but why was it important to be like, what, we're still going to do it here, and this is what it is?
Absolutely, we stand by that 100%. We've gotten some feedback like, how dare you do this in Texas with all of these laws being passed, what Texas is known for. A lot of people who might not have been to Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin don't realize we have massive gay populations, and we don't need to run off to California or somewhere to preach to the choir. I think we really do need to stand in our space and say, you know what, we're here, we're not going anywhere. I forgot the we're queer part. We're here, we're queer, we're not going anywhere. This is, a place that we want to host this. All of us who are organizing this event are from Texas. We found an amazing venue to host it. We found a great lineup that was willing to come out here, to think about taking it to New York or California just because, it's more liberal there, I think is an absolute mistake. More events need to be happening in Texas and Florida and Arkansas, just to show people that, we were planning our roots and, we're taking a stand.
Again, Unleashed LGBTQ Plus is happening this September 22nd through the 24th at the world famous Gillies in Dallas, Texas. Tickets are available at unleashedlgbtq.com. Out Magazine, The Advocate, and Equal Pride are proud sponsors of the event. And thanks so much for watching Advocate today. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to stream us live, and you can even subscribe on our YouTube channel. For the Advocate channel, I'm Aaron Dean. There's more news after the break.